Hello everyone, welcome back to the new episode of our tutorial series on Task Manager with PHP and MySQL. In the previous episode, we have successfully added the functionality to insert list in our database and also displayed all the list inserted into database in our web application. And in this episode, we will add a functionality to update and delete list in our database. So without further ado, let's move to our tutorial. Now let's work on updating and deleting our list. So let's go to our code. I'll go to my code editor, and this is our manage list page, and here is our table to display all the list. This is heading, and we have our data or list in this row, and here we have link to update and delete. So let's work on delete first because it's simpler and it takes less time. To do that, we need to create a new page which will be delete list.php. So I'll go to my project, and inside the project, so go to the main project. In main project folder, right click and create a new file called delete-list.php. So that's it, and click on OK. So just remember the spelling, guys. DELETE hyphen or minus list.php. okay, and here we have our delete list.php, and here we will pass that URL or link, and the link we are using constant site URL to give the full URL of the page. So I will start PHP in PHP, and here we will echo our constant site URL. So echo site URL, and after that we need to give the file name, which is delete-list.php. so delete-list.php. that's it. Let's save it. Don't miss any spelling. This name and the name of the file must be same. So most of the students make error in this area as well. So save it, and let's go to our browser and let's refresh the browser, and let's click on delete button. So I'll click on delete link or delete button, and we are on delete page. If you are getting any error like object not found or something error, then you have to check on this link and try to fix it, guys. You have error here. Otherwise, if you are not getting any error, then we can work on deleting the list. So I'll open delete list.php file, and here we do not need any HTML or CSS or any design because we are only deleting the list, and we'll be redirecting to our manage list page. After successful or fail to delete, we will redirect to manage list page with message. So I'll start the PHP code, PHP, and between this we will write the code to delete the list. So here let's echo and print the page name just to check it whether we are on this page or not. So I'll echo delete list page and save it, and let's go to the browser and refresh the browser. So refresh, we are on delete list page. So our URL is working perfectly. So I'll comment out it, and as before we need to include constants.php because there we have database name, database username, database password, etc. So we need to use that. So I will comment it and include constants.php. so include include we need to give quote and then config/TANTS constants.php. that's it. And then another thing we need to do is we need to connect the database. So connect the database. So $con is equals to MySQL underscore connect. We will pass localhost and then db underscore user name and then db underscore password or die MySQL underscore error and then parenthesis open and close. That's it. This will connect a database, or if it failed to connect the database, then it won't execute the query after this. And then we need to select the database. So select database. So $db underscore select is equals to MySQL underscore select underscore db, and here we need to give database connection, and then we need to give the database name which we want to connect. That's it. And then or die MySQL underscore error. So that's it. After this we need to write the query to delete the data from database. So write the query to delete list from database. For that we will create a SQL variable, and then it will be let's say delete from table name is tbl underscore list, and we need to add where keyword with list underscore id is equals to, we need to give a list id which we want to delete here, but we do not have any list here, so we need to pass the list id along with this url, and this method is called get method. So if the value is passed using url, then that is get method, but if the value is passed using form, then that is post method. So let's add the value. To add that get value, we need to add question mark at the end, and we'll call list underscore id is equals to, and then we will use this variable which is list id which we obtained from database, and after is equals to open the php question mark php into the php, and here we will echo the list id, echo $list id. So be careful here guys. Add a question mark after the url, then the get variable name, this will be the get variable name, and value is our php variable which is list id, and the value is obtained from database. And to display that variable, we need to add a PHP code. That's why we are opening the PHP and closing the PHP, and we displayed the value. So that's it. Let's save it, and here we need to get the value, and if we have the value, then only we will be deleting, otherwise we won't be deleting the data. For that we need to check first whether the value is assigned or not. So let's check it. So to check it, we will use if statement. So here I will write a comment, check whether the list underscore id is assigned or not, and this will be before that, so I'll keep it here. I just got it and paste it above that, and here we will use if, and then we will use isSet function. If isSet $underscore, that is get, and what we are passing, we are passing list id, and then only we will delete the list from database, else we will redirect to manage list page. Okay, so to redirect we use header and then location, and we will concatenate site URL, and then the name of the page is manage that list.php. so this will redirect to home page. If the list ID is set, then we will delete the list, so all of this will be inside here, and this must be at the top of our page. So let's add it here to the top of our page. So I just cut it from here and paste it up here, and all of this will be inside our if condition. So I'll cut it by pressing Ctrl and X. So just select it and cut it and paste it inside our if statement. Let's indent it. I just select it and press tab, and it looks beautiful. So this is it, and we have checked, but we have not obtained the value of list ID yet. So here we need to get the value, get the list underscore ID value from URL or get method. So let's create a list ID variable $list underscore ID is equals to $underscore get, and the value is list underscore ID. That's it. Now let's add this value or this variable in our SQL query. So it will be $list underscore ID. So this is our SQL query to delete the list from database. So let's echo it and check whether our SQL query is perfect or not. So I'll just write the echo at the beginning of our SQL query, and let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S. Let's go to our browser. So I'll refresh it. So before refreshing it, let's go back, and here we will refresh the manage list.page, and here let's click on delete button, and here we have our SQL query, which is delete from tbl underscore list where list ID is equals to 1. Similarly, let's if I go to the fourth or this one, let's check the list ID. Its list ID is 4. So we are successfully getting the list ID as well, and the SQL query is as expected, and this is perfect and it should work fine. And we have a else condition where if the ID is not supplied. What that means is sometimes when people hover over the URL, they can see the link, and they will try to go directly to that page. For example, if they do not pass the value and just type the name of the page, which is delete-list.php, then it should not delete any data. Instead, it should redirect to our home page or manage list page. So that's what else condition does. So I'll press enter and check it out whether it works or not. So I'll press enter, and it successfully redirected us to our manage list.page. So that's the function of else. Now let's work on executing this query and deleting the list. Okay, so here now we do not need echo because we have already checked and it's working fine. Now we need to execute the query, and here we will create res variable, which is shortcut for result, is equals to MySQL underscore query, and here we need to pass database connection first, $connection, and then we'll pass $SQL, which is SQL query, and we will check whether the SQL query executed successfully or not. Check whether the query executed successfully or not. For that we'll use if statement, and if $res is equals to true, and then if it's true, then query executed successfully, and we do not need else statement. We only check whether it's true or not, whether it's executed or not. And then what we have to do is we have to set the message. If it's true, then query is executed successfully, which means list is deleted. So which means list is deleted successfully, else we fail to delete list. So here we will need to set the session message first. So I'll create a session variable $_session, and session name will be, this is delete, so I'll give it as delete, and then is equals to, here we will have value, so list deleted successfully, and then we will redirect to our manage list page. So redirect to manage list page, so header and then location, and then we will include site URL, and then at the last the name of the page, which is manage-list.php. So this is it. We have location, we have redirected it, we have our session message, and we also need to set the session message for failure. So $_session, this will be delete_fail is equals to failed to delete list. That's it, and at the semicolon, and then we will redirect it to our manage list page. So header, location, and then site URL, and then name of the page, which is manage-list.php. That's it. Don't make any spelling mistake or spelling error on any of this section. So let's save it, and we'll go to manage list page, and here we need to display our session message. So here we have checked the session for add. Let's check the session for delete, and then we can add it if is set $_session, $_session. First one is delete, and then we will echo $_session, session name is delete, and then we need to onset $_session, and then session name is delete. That's it. Similarly, we need to check for another session as well, which is delete fail. Since both of these session will be going on a same page, which is manage-list.php, we will need to check 2 times for delete as well as delete_fail. You can give a single name like delete and delete only. Here delete instead of delete_fail, and if you give the same name, then you can check one time only here, but I am giving 2 different name, because later we can add CSS color for different messages. For delete success we can display on green, or for delete fail we can display on red. For that purpose I am making 2 different sessions for delete and delete success. Okay, so this one is for success, delete success, and let's check for delete fail. Check for delete fail, and if is set $_session, and then delete_fail, we will display the message echo $_session delete underscore fail, and then we need to unset is as well, unset $_session and then delete underscore fail. That's it, semicolon at the end. So don't misspell anything, guys, and don't try to make any error. And even if you get any error, don't panic it. Just try to read the error message and try to solve it. So let's save it and let's go to our browser and let's go back and let's refresh our manage list and try to delete one of these. So I'll delete the fourth one, so I'll click on delete button, and it has deleted successfully, and it has redirected to our manage list page, and we only have 4 data now. So let's refresh it and the message is gone. Now let's check our database. So I'll go to PHP MyAdmin and check it in our database. So this is our PHP MyAdmin. Our database is task manager, so I'll expand it and we need to go to TBL list, and here we have 1 2 3 4. We only have 4 data. We have already deleted one. Similarly, we can also delete another one. I'll click on delete and it deleted successfully. List deleted successfully. Message is also displayed. Later at the end of this tutorial series, we will add an CSS and make the error messages more beautiful by adding colors. Like for successful, we will add green color. For error, we will add red color. Okay, for now we have successfully added the functionality to delete the list. Now let's work on updating our list. So let's go back to our manage list page. So here is our manage list page, and let's go to the links. So here we have worked on delete page, and now we need to work on update page. So let's add the link. I'll remove this hashtag sign and I'll start PHP because we need to give our site URL. So echo site URL, and then we need to go to our new page, which will be update list. So after this PHP, we will add update-list.php, and we need to create that page, update list.php. So go to the project, which is task manager, and inside that project folder, let's create a new file. It will be update-list.php, and along with that page we need to pass our list ID as well, because we will be updating one list at a time. So we need to verify which list we need to update. So as for delete, we will also pass list ID in our update URL with get method. So at the end of update list.php, add question mark, and then it will be list underscore ID is equals to value of that list ID, which is a PHP variable. So we need to open and close PHP tag, and then we will echo $list ID. So that's it. Now we need to save it first. So let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S, the manage list, and then let's open our update list. So I will open our update list file. Now let's close the delete.php delete list, and let's work on update list.php. And update list.php will be similar to add form. It will have form to update the data using input field and text area field, and then we will also have a button to update it, and that's it. So all I want to say is its design will be similar to add page. So first thing we need to add is include our constant.php, because we will also be connecting the database and updating the database data in our database. So let's include the constant.php first. So include, and then config folder, and then constants.php, and after that we need to design the page for our update list page. So we'll start with HTML, and inside HTML we will have a head. So let's press tab and create head, and inside head we will have title. Title is task manager with PHP and MySQL, and then we will have body. So body, inside the body we will design everything like other pages. So the first thing is h1 tag for logo, so it is task manager, and then we will have, let's save it and let's go to our task manager and let's look at our add list page. So I'll click on add list page and we will design something same like this. So we'll have home and manage list URL. So I'll create a div tag and its class will be, so let's give a class of menu, and here we will be creating anchor tag to display those menu. So let's create an anchor tag. First one is home, and its link will be href is equals to, we need to give our site URL for home page echo site URL, and another one is manage list page. So we'll create the anchor tag and it will be manage list, and let's give the link href is equals to php open and then echo site URL, and we will give the name of the page at the end of the PHP. So here our name of the page is manage dash list.php. That's it. Let's save it and let's go to our task manager, and here I will click on update button or update link, and here we have our logo and menu. And after that what we need is, let's go back to our add list page design. We need to give the name of the page in s3 tag, and then we will design form like this. Okay, so let's display the name of the page in s3 tag, s3, and it is update list page, and then we will design form. So here I will start a form tag, and let's bring it down, and its method will be post. So we'll be passing value using post method, and action will be blank because we will be processing the data in the same page. And to make the design beautiful, we will be using a table. So table, and then we will create a row, and then let's create columns. So first column will be Ctrl Z Y exit TD, and here we will give list name. First one is list name, and then we need to give input type. So TD, and it will be input, and input type is equals to text, and name will be name is equals to list name, and we need to give placeholder as well. Placeholder is equals to type. We don't need to give the placeholder because we will be displaying the actual current value. So instead of placeholder, we will be giving a value value is equals to, and here we will pass the current value. But for now we haven't obtained any value from database. We will leave it blank, and once we get the value from database, then we will display the value from here, and it is a required is equals to required, and after this we need to add another row. So tr and td, and this will be list description, and this is a text area. So I'll create another column td and text area, and its name will be list description. So list underscore description, DSCRIPTION. So it the name cannot have blank spaces. So we have name, it is not required, but we need to pass the value. And like we have a value property input for input tag, we do not have value property for text area. Instead we will display the value between our text area tag. So I will bring it down so that you will see clearly where we will be putting the value. I'll add tab, and here between the opening, this is opening text area and this is closing text area, and between this text area tag we will display the value. So I'll put it down here, and here we will display the value. For now we'll leave it blank, and let's add another row to add update button. So I will create a tr, and we will give td, and it will have input type input, and its type will be type is equals to submit, and its name, let's give its name as submit as well, and its value value is equals to, let's give its value as update. So it's the name of the button will be update. So let's save it, and let's go back to our browser, and let's go to our manage list, and let's click on update link. And here we have our list description, list name, list description, and update button. So that's it. We can maximize it like this as well. And then we need to display the data, display the current data of selected list in this input fields. For that we need to get the value from database. So I'll go to the top here, and we will get the value from database at the beginning of the page. So here I will start, we can again start the PHP, but I will use this PHP. So I will press enter and bring the closing PHP tag below, and let's bring it down as well. I'll press the tab, and then here we will get the current values of selected list. And for that, first of all, we need to check whether the list is selected or not, or the list ID is passed using get value or not, get method or not. So if I set $_get and then list underscore ID, and then we will get the list ID. So get the list ID value. So let's create a list ID variable, list underscore ID is equals to $_get list underscore ID. This is not capital, small list, because in our link we have passed a small list ID. So we are getting the value using this variable. So this must be same, and this must be same as that one, and this and the link list ID must be same. And after we have list ID, we can connect to database. So $con is equals to MySQL I underscore connect, and then we will pass localhost, and then db underscore username, and then db underscore password, or die MySQLi underscore error, and parenthesis open and close. At the end we will have semicolon, and then we will need to select database. So $db select is equals to MySQLi underscore select underscore db. I forgot the C here. MySQLi underscore MySQL under select underscore db, and here we need to pass database connection, and then we need to pass database name, which is db underscore name, or die MySQL underscore error parenthesis open and close, and at the end we need to pass the semicolon, and then we will write the query to get the values from database. So query to get the values from database. So $SQL is equals to, we will use select query, select all, asterisk means all, from tbl underscore list, and we'll use where keyword to get the value of this list id. So where list underscore id is equals to $list underscore id. So that's it. This will be our SQL query, and then we need to execute the query. So execute query, we will create a variable $res is equals to MySQL underscore query, and then we need to pass database connection $con, and then we need to pass SQL query. So that's it. And then check whether the query executed successfully or not. If the query is executed successfully, then we will process for updating the form, otherwise we will redirect back to our manage list. So if $res is equals to true, then get the value from database, else go back to manage list page. So I will add header and then location, here is colon, and concatenate site URL, and then manage list.php. That's it. This will redirect to our manage list page. So let's save it. Else we will get the value from database and display the data in our update form. So to get the value, first we will create a row, since we will be obtaining only single row of data, because we have list id is equals to list id, and list id cannot be repeated. So one list id will have one row of data. So for now we do not need to use any loop, so we will create a array. So I will call it as $row is equals to, and then we will use MySQL underscore fetch underscore assoc to get the value from database, and here we will pass $res. So $res MySQL underscore fetch underscore assoc. So do not make any spelling error. I was close to making a spelling error. So MySQL underscore fetch underscore assoc. So let's see the value. It will have the value on array format. So I will write a comment here. So value is in array, and to print the array in PHP we use print underscore r, and let's pass the array which is row. Let's save it and let's go back to our page, which is update list page, and here I will refresh the browser, and here you can see the value array list id is 1, list name is test list, and we have list description which is test description. Now we need to get this value into our individual variable. So I will comment out it. So I will write its comment as well, printing $row array. Let's create individual variable to save the data, So dollar, we do not need to get a list ID because we already have a list ID here. So we can get list name and list description. List underscore name is equals to dollar row, and then we need to pass column name, which is list underscore name, and then we will have to get list description. List description is equals to dollar row list underscore description. That's it, and let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S, and we will display this value in our input type, which is list name is list name, and its value, we will display the value here. So we need to open PHP tag and then echo dollar list underscore name, and we will display the list description here between the text area opening tag and text area closing tag. So let's say PHP open PHP close PHP and echo dollar list underscore description. That's it. Let's save it by pressing Ctrl and S, and let's go back and let's refresh the page, and here we have our values, which is list name and list description. Now we can make changes from here, and when you click on update button, we will process the data and update it in our database. So let's work on that. So at the end of the HTML tag, we will process the data for our update form. So here we'll open the PHP, and as previous, we will check whether the submit or update button is clicked or not. So check whether the update button is clicked or not. So if is set dollar underscore, this is a post method, post, and our submit button. So the name of the button is used, its value is update, but its name is submit. So we'll check submit, and here we will test out echo button clicked, and when the button is clicked, then only we will process the form and update the data in database. So let's save it. Let's go to our browser and I'll refresh it, and let's click on update button. So the button is clicked, so that means our code is working perfectly. And then we need to get all the values from our form here. So let's get the values, get the updated values from our form. So here I will create a variable dollar list underscore name is equals to we don't need quote, instead we'll use dollar underscore post, and then this is list underscore name, and then dollar list underscore description is equals to dollar underscore post list underscore description. That's it. Now connect and select the database. So connect database, and to connect the database, let's create a variable $con, and this time I will give it as connection 2 because we have already connection here and db select here. So we do not want to repeat that, so let's create another connection as connection 2, and we will connect the database underscore connect, and here we will pass our local host and then db underscore username, db underscore password, and or die MySQLi underscore error and parenthesis open and close and end, and then we need to select the database. Same as before, we will give the db select as 2, and we will select the database select underscore db, and then here we need to pass the database connection, and this is connection 2, and here we will pass db underscore name. And another thing is our SQL query to update as update list. So $SQL, this will also be SQL2 is equals to double quote, and inside the double quote we will add update tbl underscore lists, and then we need to set the value. So set, and I will go in the new line, so I'll press enter, and here we will set list underscore name is equals to $list underscore name, and then another one is list underscore description is equals to $list underscore description. So here we have, this is a database column, this is a database column, and these are the values obtained from our form. And along with these column names, we also need to add where keyword. And remember guys, at the end of the column you do not put the comma at the end of last column. On the previous column you will need to add comma, but on the last column you do not need to put comma at the end. And let's add where keyword, where list underscore id is equals to $list underscore id. And here you might wonder, we do not have any list id value here, but how will we get this value? Since we are processing the form on the same page, we already have list id here, so we'll be using the same list id here in our SQL query. But if we had processed the form in next page, then you need to transfer the list id along with this form. Okay, for now we'll be using the list id from our top. Let's display or let's check our SQL query as well. So I'll echo it, let's save it, let's go to our URL and let's refresh it. And here let's I will update it as just list up for update, and here also I will add up for update, and let's click on update. And list underscore description, we have an error, undefined variable. So when you get error like this, don't panic, just try to understand and read the error and try to find the error. Okay, so here I have a capital letter T, but we have list as small t, so we need to fix it. So let's go to our line 121. So I'll go to line 121. Here I have capital T, so I'll change this to small t and save it. And let's go to our browser and refresh it, and again up, and here also up, and click on update. And here we have our query, update tbl underscore list, set list name is equal to test list up, and list description is equals to test drc up, where list id is equals to 1. So we have successfully written the SQL query. I'll refresh it again, and let's go back to the code. And here we do not need echo now, I'll remove the echo. And then we need to execute the query. So let's create a variable $res, and it will also be res2, and MySQLi underscore query, and here we need to pass connection, and then $SQL query. That's it. And check check whether the query executed successfully or not. To check that, we will use if. And here also I made a mistake. Here this is not connection, this is connection 2, and this is SQL 2. Okay, and so here let's check the whether the query executed successfully or not. So if $res2 is equals to true, if it's true, then we will display successful message. So update successful, else fail to update. Okay, so here we need to set the message first. So we'll create a session $_session, and this is update, and the message will be list updated successfully, and then we need to redirect it to our manage list page. So redirect to manage list page. So header and then location colon, we will concatenate site URL, and then we'll give the name of the page, which is manage-list.php. That's it. Now we also need to set the error message and redirect the page to the same page, which is update list.php if it failed. So let's create a session message, set session message. So $_session, this is update fail. So update_fail, sorry, this is not capital, it's small, update is equals to message will be failed to update list, and semicolon at the end. After that we need to redirect to the update list page, which is the same page, and here we will add the link to redirect. So header location, and then here we'll concatenate site URL, and then we will add the name of the page, which is update-list.php. and if we check the URL, here we have is update list php page name, and we are also passing the list ID. So while redirecting, we also need to pass this list ID value. So here after the end, here we will pass what list_id is equals to $list_id. Okay, it might not work like this, but we can add it as we can concatenate the variable, like we concatenate the constant. Let's concatenate this list id variable as well. So I'll cut it here, and after the single quote ends, I will add full stop or period and paste it here, so it will concatenate our list id. So that's it, and then we need to display the session message. So I'll go to our update list page here. So after the update list page, s3 tag, and before the form, we will display the message here. So I'll create a paragraph tag, and here we will start PHP and the PHP, and here we will check whether the session is set or not. So if is set $_session, and this is update fail, then we will display the message with echo $_session, and it will be update underscore fail, and then we'll also onset dollar underscore session update underscore fail. That's it. Let's save it, and we also need to display the session message on our manage list. So I'll go to the top where we have already displayed a bunch of messages. This will be a success message, so I will add after delete here. Let's display session message for check session message for update. So if ISS it is set dollar underscore session dollar underscore SSS and session, and then session name is update, then we'll display the message with echo dollar, let's go back, echo dollar underscore session, and it will be update. And similarly we'll onset remove the message, onset dollar underscore session update. So that's it. Let's save it and let's check whether our update functionality works or not. So I'll go back to our browser, let's refresh the browser, and let's change its value from test list to, I'll say it as to do, and I'll give the description as all the tasks that must be done soon. Let's check it and let's click on update button. So list updated successfully, and here we have changed our list name, which is to do. So I'll refresh the page and our message is gone. So let's update for test 2 as well. So I'll update it and it will be, let's say, doing, and let's send the description all the tasks that are currently being done, and let's click on update and let's doing. Let's change the last one also. I will click on update and change it as done. All the tasks that are completed. I'll just remove this one and click on update, and here list updated successfully and to do, doing, and done. So that's it guys, we have successfully added the functionality to add list, update list, and delete list. Now we will work on adding, updating, and deleting all the tasks, and we'll also display those lists here. These are dummy list for now, but we'll display all the list from database here. But first we will work on adding, updating, and deleting the task. So let's work on that. Thanks so much for watching the tutorial till the end. I hope the tutorial was helpful to you. And do you know it takes hours to record a single tutorial, and it takes more time or more hour to edit, process, render, and publish the tutorial. So to make a tutorial series with couple of episodes, it takes around 1 week or 1 month time based on the length of the tutorial series. So if you want me to invest more time and make more free tutorials for you, then please subscribe to my channel. Click on that subscribe button, click on that bell icon, and also share this channel with as much people as possible, so that your friends will also know that they can learn software development and web application development in this channel for free, and it will also help this channel to grow. So thanks so much for your love and support. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you on new tutorial. Till then, take care, stay safe, see you soon, bye bye.